And I'm going to record.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and share this. Yeah. Go ahead and share this. All right. Let me know when you're done clicking away there, child, and we can get it going. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just go ahead and start it off. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to the channel. This is the Get Down. We are live. We're about to come with some gameplay and, of course, the show where we're going to talk nothing but games and nerd out a little bit. I am, of course, your boy, the Hammer.
I mean, go deep.
I'm your boy Snake.
All right. And if you can tell, you can't see my face, and that is because we are running a little bit of Rust. And while it is not a new game, it is new to console. So we kind of figured, hey, we should run a little bit of this, see what it's about. So of course, me and Snake gonna play a little bit while we talk about all this news and gaming and whatnot. We're gonna let Mingo D chime in with his opinions on a few things because I got some exclusive news. It's kind of a real, kind of a gut shot to PlayStation. That seems to be a regular thing. I don't know. I think they're starting to get used to it and coming up with different ways to be innovative. But we'll go ahead and start off. So the big game that's potentially going to be the big reveal at E3 this year for Microsoft, outside of Halo and outside of Forza, is Starfield, and it's big now because Starfield is 100% confirmed Xbox exclusive. And the thing the thing about that is originally it was thought at one point it was thought it was only going to be PlayStation. And then it was like, no, it won't just be PlayStation. It's going to be, you know, both consoles, Xbox and PlayStation. And the makers, developers came out a couple of days ago and said, hey, no, we're going to roll with Microsoft. We're going strictly Xbox platform stuff. Now, they are releasing it day and date on Game Pass, which means that anything that can have Game Pass while somebody is teabagging on my screen, anything that can have Game Pass can have this game. So that kind of plays into the deal that we talked about a few shows ago. If you're not subscribed to our channel on YouTube, you should go check that out because we definitely talked about it. Um, Game Pass works on PC and as well as the Xbox console, but it is rumored that they could potentially be on other consoles, and I say other consoles meaning the Switch. So I guess my question for you, Mingo, is number one. I got two questions, I guess. Number one, how big of a hit or is it a hit to PlayStation that they're losing this game to to Microsoft for the Xbox? I mean, because you got to think this game it's a massive game. It's basically a combination of like Elder Scrolls and I don't know. I guess you say Elder Scrolls and maybe a little bit of Ark, but in space. So,
Um,
what do you think? Do you think it's? I mean, I feel like it's pretty big hit, especially since they thought it was going to be a thing. And then after you give me your opinion, I'll tell you some of the comments that some of the PlayStation lovers have been making.
um, I think overall it isn't.
I'm a ship
I
race.
think, and I think because the way that I think that Sony is still looking at the fact that, okay, this isn't something as massive as I don't know, I'm about to say Skyrim, an Elder Scrolls, or Dragon Age, or something like that. So I think, big as this game is, I think Sony is just like, okay, you know what? This is we get it. You know, we had Spidey. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. You guys have this. We get it. Now, on the other hand, uh, I do think it's a big hit for PlayStation fans of the game. I think a lot of PlayStation. I think Sony is missing the fact that a lot of PlayStation fans played that game on PlayStation and are going to miss that game. But it's just one of those things where it's like, kind of, I guess, a give and take. It's like if Sony understands, quote unquote, because I don't think I don't know, this console war is weird, that Bethesda is owned by Microsoft and Microsoft is going to take certain things and make them exclusive, then they could probably play well with Microsoft later, maybe get this game, get that game, whatever the case may be. Um, so I really think it's a big hit for fans of the game. That's for PlayStation, but not. I don't think Sony is looking at it as a big hit. I think they're looking at it as, okay, we get it. We knew this. I will say that I do think that Xbox is playing the long game, and what I mean by that is I think Microsoft is their this is their way of saying, hey, we're going to start off with Starfield, just to kind of test the waters and see what everybody does to try to let everybody know that we're getting when something else comes out later on in the future. I don't know, Dragon, and then everybody won't be so shocked or so pissed off. So I think this is a test run for them, and I don't know. I'm not sure if Sony. So that's the way I look at it. Like I said, this is news to me. I still think it's, as a Sony fan, I still think that Sony needs to, they, and I know that they're technically playing the first party long game as far as now, but it seems like Xbox is beating them to the punch, so to speak. So I don't know. That's my opinion on the whole thing.
Yeah, and I can concur with a lot of that. Like, I feel like that's probably what they are doing. They may be playing the long game as far as titles and whatnot. I do think you are right though that somebody needs to be keeping an eye on what Microsoft is doing because you know, and I say that because I was listening to just a channel, and I can't think of the guy's channel on YouTube, but he thought it'd be funny to make like rap songs about why Xbox sucks and all this other stuff, and they're just like, oh, we don't care about your little Game Pass, and I was like listening to it, and I was like, bro, wow, you could sit there and say that Game Pass, whether people like to admit it or not, is like a huge step forward. Like that's damn near revolutionary because of the fact that they are going to be releasing AAA games. I mean, they've already done it, but they're going to continue to release AAA games day one on a service where you can get the entire game and you pay your $10 a month.
Yep.
And if you don't like it, you didn't buy a copy of a game for $70. Like you spent $10 a month, and it's not just that game. There's a library of over 100 games. So it's like, while they may try to downplay the significance of Game Pass, like I don't I don't see how you can, especially since games now $70. They're not 60 anymore, they're $70. That's what people are paying for. Like Outriders is a perfect example. If you had a PlayStation, you want to play Outriders, you paid $70 for it. Like period. You paid $70 for Outriders. And with Game Pass, you had your $10 a month, you downloaded it, there it was. And even though Outriders had issues, I was less upset with the issues in Outriders because I didn't pay $70. I paid, I paid $10 a month, and I was playing other games within the service, so I could just wait on Outriders to be fixed and then go back to it when I get ready to. Whereas people that bought it for $70, you basically had a game that you potentially couldn't really play, and you just had to wait and hold on to this copy of the game that you spent $70 for, and you couldn't play it, and you had no other alternatives. At least with Game Pass, I have alternatives, and getting back on track, I think with Starfield, you know, if they're able to successfully mimic uh, Elder Scrolls, but like in a space format, I think it's gonna be huge. Like honestly, I think it's gonna be massive. Like, and anybody that's in the console game or in a system game should want this because we all know ESO and just Elder Scrolls in general is epic. It's not to be taken lightly. Like it is an epic game. Like it's been around forever. There's different versions of Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, and Elder Scrolls Online, Morrowind, which I was addicted to for a long time back on the original Xbox. So I mean, for them to try to downplay it like they're not worried about it, it's like that's a big game. That's potentially a tide change in games. Like it's already kind of a weird thing with the console war anyway. But you're talking about changing a lot of minds by doing this. Like like I said, it could be revolutionary. So I mean, personally, I think while they're downplaying it, I think they kind of know that they could potentially be in some trouble. Like it could be a big deal. We'll see when E3 happens because they're supposed to talk about it more at E3. Um, there's supposed to be a reveal there and an actual release date for the game because there's not a release date for it. And they first introduced the world to the game back in like 2018. Yeah, 2018 or 2019, one of those is when they first revealed that game. So we just have to see what's gonna happen. Um, Snake, do you have an opinion about it at all? You want to throw out there?
About what?
About Starfield. Y'all, he's been trying to
Well,
fix his audio, so he's been occupied. It's
with the
understandable.
as far as Starfield, I mean, I never really heard about it till now. So um, I don't know what to think about that.
Yeah, and it's like I said, there's gonna be more information on that E3 because they're definitely gonna get out there and show. They're gonna get out there and want to show it. So I mean, E3 will be the telltale of what we're getting for that game and how everybody's gonna feel about it. I feel like it's gonna be big. I think it's gonna be something that people can enjoy. And it's based in space, so it's got my attention. Um, No Man's Sky was awesome. Elite Dangerous was awesome. Now you're talking about, like I said, Elder Scrolls, but in space and like on the new consoles and stuff. I think it's gonna be tough to compete with. That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh, also, to piggyback off what you were saying earlier about the Game Pass, I just wanted to say this real quick. One of the things, and I know this isn't tech or anything, but tech talk or anything, but one thing I wanted to say about is something that I've talked about before. That if someone can figure out a way to model one of the most popular selling things in the world right now, which is cell phones, the smartphone in general, uh, they will, especially in games, they will revolutionize everything. Because what do you do with smartphones? You technically, unless you're doing something like a Metro or Boost Mobile or something like that, which they don't allow you to lease the phones. You have to, well, some do depending on what insurance or credit company you get with. But more or less, and I'll talk about that later. More or less, you have to go buy that phone completely, and then you can put it on the service. But for every other company, T-Mobile, AT&T, and whatnot, to get a phone on their service, you have to pretty much lease it under the plan, which is you're paying something added with your phone bill a month. That's why phone bills are like what, $100 something for one or two phones or whatever the case, or two plans, because you're paying for the phone and the plan all at the same time, month by month. Now, we have Game Pass, and it's like, well, that's just a service. But imagine this: imagine one day, because of what Game Pass did, Microsoft decides to, oh well, this is the Xbox whatever Series 21 or something, and we now have the money to just make a pretty much a box with software, and this box, this Xbox should cost over $2,000. But since you're already a member of Game Pass, you can pay $30 a month added to whatever your Game Pass subscription is, and that'll pay off your Xbox along with this, along with that. Can you imagine? People will jump on that just like they do with cell phones. And then when the next one come out, you just do whatever like you do with your plan, with your T-Mobile or your AT&T or your Verizon. You just upgrade to the next console. Can you imagine if they ever figure out how to do that? That'll be insane. And Sony will have no choice, and Nintendo will have, and some of the PCs will have no choice but to follow suit, because that will be just crazy. So that's all. I just want to say that, kind of throw that back out there to say that it just seems like a step in that direction, in my opinion. But I don't know. Just kind of want to piggyback on that. You can keep going now.
No, you got a valid point, and that could be a thing. I mean, you notice with this generation of consoles that just came out, did you notice how many? I mean, there's literally YouTube advertisements about basically leasing to buy the
Ooh, yeah.
consoles.
Yep.
There's a ton of those. Like I thought it was a joke the first time I saw it, but then I got to thinking, like, you know what? That's kind of ingenious because people, dealing with the pandemic and everything else, it's some of it's a little bit easier for them to just, you know, pay it out and then have it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
it makes it more accessible to them. And I think that people can appreciate it being more accessible to them by allowing them to pay it out. Like it was a good move. It was a genius move really by these companies, and it wasn't it wasn't the actual manufacturers of the consoles either. It wasn't Sony. It wasn't Microsoft. These are outside companies that are doing this. They're basically saying, okay, if you want, a Series X or you want a PS5, cool. You pay us this much money down. We'll hold you one till you pay it out, and we'll send it to you. So it boosted sales when they could get sales because, like I said, scalpers. We talked about that, but it helped boost the sales and helped people that may have at one point not been able to afford the console. It helped them to
Yep.
afford it, in a sense. Excuse me. So in a way, I think all of that is kind of goes hand in hand, like you're saying. Like eventually, it could be a thing where they do have like, all right, well, you roll with this Xbox for X amount of years, and you'll have it paid off, along with your, it's a monthly payment, like you said, like a cell phone, which comes with, the service, which would be Game Pass, and you just pay the Game Pass, and when you pay your Game Pass every month, you pay basically your console payment every month until you pay the console off, and then you just pay for the service, just like a cell phone. And then when you get ready, you decide like, you know what, I'm gonna upgrade. And you can just go in and like, hey, I need to upgrade. I get to keep this because I paid it off, but I'm gonna upgrade. Or if you want to trade it into them, if they want to take it back, then you can give it to them and get whatever amount you can get for it, and get a new console. So I see what you're getting at right there. I see what you're saying,
Yeah.
and that very well may be the future. I think it's a couple of consoles down the line, but
Oh yeah.
I can see that. I can see them looking at that as a way to entice more people to continue buying games. Like it makes total sense for them to do that. So I will be keeping up because E3 is closely, closely approaching, and we're gonna have a for real show about that. Because once I'm able to see everything, we're gonna have a lot to talk about with with Halo and all that stuff being shown again. Yeah, we're getting a year later, we're finally getting to see new and improved and reworked Halo. So definitely gonna be checking out the E3 information, but I will keep you up to date as far as Starfield and what they decide to do. If they talk any more about it, or if they reveal anything else, I'll make sure that we get it on the show first, so you guys can hear it and know what's going on. So, moving on from that, I want to talk about this nice game that y'all see me playing here. And there's a dude right here, and Tyler's running away from me, and he's gonna let me get hit
I'm looking for
and
you.
let me get beat up. We are playing Rust, and I'm having to run away because I don't have. Yep, about to die. I don't
Where
have
are you?
anything. I'm behind you, Mr. Snake, and I'm fixing
No,
to go
I've
down.
been looking for you the whole time, bro.
Yeah, the dude's got an axe and he's chasing me.
There's a guy
I'm
with an
running in the middle
arrow.
of the road,
I
and
see
I'm
him.
bleeding out.
Run over here, over here, over here.
Anyway, so this game Rust, I was talking about it before I got assaulted by a random player. Um, Basically, a combination of Daisy and Ark is the best I can tell. Um, so far, it's a decent game. It's still in beta for about
Eat,
another day or
get
so.
it, pick it up,
Uh,
eat it, pick it up.
what am I picking up? Oh, the pumpkin. Okay, I gotta eat, y'all, because I'm fixing to die.
Pick it up.
I'm eating it as I'm literally eating it right now. Sorry, y'all. I'm okay. I promise I'm gonna finish explaining. So, and it only gave me like 22 health. But anyway,
I see your health grow. It's
uh, so like I said, a perfect mix between Ark and like Daisy. Um, it's open world. It's PvP. You start out with, as you can see, I'm gonna try to, I'm trying to get close enough to where Mr. Snake's character can see my character, so you can see basically how you start here. You basically start like that, practically nude. You're in underwear and bra because obviously you're a chick, um, and you start off basically with a rock and I think I started with a rock and a torch, and you got to make your way inland and try to find supplies and clothes and everything else. And I just got kicked. This is again the beta, and this is what happens. Um,
why do
but
you keep getting kicked
so
though?
that
That's
I
what
can
I don't
so,
understand.
so that I can focus, I'll stay out a little bit. I'll go ahead and stay out for a little bit so I can focus and talk about it. But basically, it's a survival game. There's no zombies. There's nothing like that.
No
Snake told me he did
dinosaurs.
run into a bear one time. You just basically got to worry about
Why you
the
gotta bring up
people.
the bear?
Yeah, he has the bears are attracted to Snake for whatever reason. That's a conversation for another show.
Every game.
There's video footage of how much bears like him in
We'll talk
video
about
games.
that.
But anyway, um, but the elements, the biggest elements in this game, Rust, are going to be the elements and the other people, basically. There's pockets of radiation. There's a few PVE players, like a few NPCs that are in the game. There's some in particular that are called scientists. Um, they they usually are guarding the better loot. They walk around in hazmat suits. We saw some earlier. There was like two of them. They were wearing like blue hazmat suits, and they were walking back and forth guarding this area. And usually in those areas, you find some really really nice loot, some guns that you really can't find anywhere else. But you would have to take on the damn scientists, which is obviously whenever you're brand new and you don't have crap, probably not a good idea. Probably gonna get jacked up. But it is very much so. It is a very interesting game. I'm trying not to be too judgmental on it because it keeps crashing on me and sending me to the dashboard because again it's still a beta, and I'm pretty sure there's a ton of people that are trying to get their last minute play in before the game actually releases. So I'm sure that has to do with why it's kicking me. But excuse me. As far as gameplay, so far I've enjoyed it. The controls feel a little bit funny at first, but once you play it, you get used to it. It's not bad. The layout kind of grows on you. Um, it's interesting, like I was saying, how deep and how thoughtful the game is. Because like you saw me before I got kicked, you saw I had to eat. I was bleeding out, and he didn't get to bandage me, but I have to eat because I'm getting weak. But even throughout the game, even if you're not damaged, you run around long enough, you notice that your meter goes down for your hunger. You have to eat to keep your health up. You know, I haven't seen a deal that said I needed to drink. You might need to drink. I know in Daisy you had to eat and drink. You couldn't just eat. You had to make sure you drank stuff too. Um, this game has some of those same mechanics. Um, the positive in this one between this one and Daisy is the fact that when you eat something, it actually sticks to you. It's not like I ate and then 45 seconds later, my guy's like, I'm hungry again and my freaking health is dropping down and I'm about to die, even though I just ate. Like, you eat, like, I ate those pumpkins and my health was going up. And once it goes up and it sits where it's at, it's going to be there for a while. It doesn't just instantly go away like on DayZ. That was one thing I hated about that game. It's just like you could not. It's like you could not eat enough, and if you ate too much too quick, you got sick and you would throw up. And then once you were sick, you stayed sick, and that affected your health. So like, there was things in that game that just were very flawed that don't look like I'm going to experience in this game. So far so good. The map is pretty big. The one in DayZ is bigger, but the map is fairly large. You actually have a map because in DayZ you had no map. You had to get on your phone and download an app to get a map that some people created to have a map of the area in DayZ. And then you still had to like look at your surroundings and kind of guesstimate where you were, or you had to look at the road signs and then compare the map on your phone to what the road sign said, and all of it was in like Russian.
Ah,
Which,
that game. I remember
yeah,
y'all
yeah,
playing
everything
that.
was in Russian, so it was like we don't even speak Russian. What the hell? So, so it was really difficult. Like it was frustrating at times. On top of the fact that that game was well established on console, and so when you got in there, people would run around and kill you for no reason. You didn't even have to have anything, and you could just barely have spawned in the game, like weaponless and nothing on you. And then people roll by, that obviously been in the game, have saved it a few days and been in and out of the server, and they would just see you like, oh, there's a new guy, and they just mow you down for no reason. Like it was terrible. This game, I mean, besides that guy that attacked me just a few minutes ago, I hadn't had anybody attack me. We've ran into some people. They didn't try to attack. They were just moving along. They were trying to gather supplies. Basically trying to figure the game out. And I figure right now it's gonna be like that for the most part because it's still new. Most everybody's trying to figure out the mechanics and trying to build their bases and all that stuff. I figure over time it will get worse because then people will get established and they'll start, I'm gonna kill everything I see because I'm gonna loot things off of everybody because I need this. So then it'll get out of hand. But so far, it's not out of hand. It plays nice when it plays. Again, this is beta. Reserve judgment. It is beta. Um, but if you're looking for something, like I said, something along the lines of Ark, but a little bit different, something a little better than DayZ, and no zombies, this game Rust definitely to me is it's. I give it a thumbs up. I'm not gonna give it two thumbs up yet because I want to play the actual game, not beta, and actually make it through a session and not get kicked. And then if I still feel the same way, I'll give it two thumbs up. But it definitely is. It definitely has piqued my interest, and I've had fun with the play that have been able to get in. I've had fun with it, which DayZ, I had fun with it, but my fun only lasted a short amount of time, and then I was pissed because I get all this good loot, get all of this stuff, get ready to start building a base, and get killed and lose everything. That's another thing. You can come back to your body and you can pick up your stuff as long as they don't loot it. The cool thing is, if for whatever reason you're in a safe zone and you begin to get shot at, like let's say another player starts shooting at you, if you're within the safe zone that has the turrets on the top, it will mow down the person that's shooting at you so long as you don't fire back at them. As long as you don't break basically the law, the turrets will see them breaking the law and it'll mow them down. So it kind of keeps people from camping the safe zones and just shooting people, or trying to snipe people from a distance while they're in the safe zone. Like it makes you play fair, basically, which I like. I think that's awesome. It needs to be like that. The crafting in the game is pretty straightforward. Um, it does seem like you need to have a lot of resources to craft. Like earlier, I had like 4,000 pieces of wood in my inventory. Because you could hold like 1,000 in each spot, and I think I had like 4 spots that were there. I mean, 1,000 pieces of wood in each spot. But if you looked at how much some of the stuff took to make, like your spears or like the hammer or whatever, you see the sheer amount of
Ah,
like pieces that it would take to make it this stuff. Like it takes a lot of resources to make these things. So, and it's all right though because I don't feel like I gotta get on YouTube and like find that one guy that figured out how to make this particular supply that I need, and I have to do it just like this, or else it won't make it. All that stuff. This feels way more straightforward. I mean, it even has little diagrams. It shows little pictures of what, like, if you scroll over, it'll tell you what you can make and like what it is that you're gonna make right there. You can click on it, tell it to make it, and it'll do it. It just gives you a timer. It tells you how much time it's gonna take for it to actually finish, for it to finish making whatever it is you're trying to make. Which I prefer better. I don't want to have to, like I said, download a whole manual to learn what goes with what to make, something that I need for survival. I don't need to go fishing in the book to learn how to make a spear. It's like shit. Just put something on there so I can say, I need a spear and craft me a spear, and I press a button and then it goes. This game does that. So, in that aspect, it is good. Uh, Visually, like I said, it's a large game. As far as detail, eh. I don't feel like it's supposed to be. I'm not going to critique it too hard on the visual thing because any game that's that massive like that, the visuals aren't their first priority. Let me say that. There's no way it's their first priority. So, um, visually, it's fine. The size of the map is great. Like I said, it makes you feel like anywhere you go, you gotta, it takes some distance, it takes some time to get there. I do like that. It's not the extreme of DayZ where it took like 30 minutes to run across the map, but you do understand when you see, where you want to be is at south end of the map and you're at the north end. You understand, okay, I'm gonna be running for a minute, and it takes you a minute to get there. So definitely something to check out. Like I said, it's in beta now. It releases on the 21st. Is that right, Tyler? The 21st is the release date?
Yeah, the main game.
Yeah. So the main game is out on the 21st. It's in beta right now. We still got time. They got 3 different versions. They got the regular version. They've got the deluxe, which is what I purchased, and then they have the ultimate, which is what Snake purchased. With the deluxe and the ultimate, you got access to the beta, and you got there was like a pack of skins that you can get. I guess when the game releases, you can unlock a pack of like its clothes and whatnot, supplies, and then on the ultimate, you also got rust coins or rust bucks or whatever it was that came along with it as well.
Waiting for somebody to get back in. I'm not alone.
Well, I'm focusing on talking about the game because keep having to get back in and
People want the
sometimes
show.
focus. And I just decided to focus. I mean, they're watching yours, so it's fine while I'm talking about it. But no, like I was saying, definitely worth. To me, it's definitely worth a get. Even if it's just to try the beta. I think it's going to get there's going to be a lot of hours spent on it.
Hey,
A
Ray.
lot of people will enjoy it. What's up?
So what has a lot of balls and tortures old ladies?
This punchline better be good because you know what?
What?
the build for this was great. The the build for it was great. The fact that you lean forward, like what has a lot of balls? Like anytime you say that, the punchline better be fantastic. I don't know, man. What?
Bingo.
Oh, what? What? Wait a minute.
What? I'm so lost. I don't know what happened.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't know.
What has a lot of balls and torments old ladies? Bingo. Bingo hall.
that,
Yeah. Good.
that is
Bingo
so
balls.
bad. It is so terrible. Mingo, I apologize, bro. I apologize.
Nasties.
I get it.
Oh my God, man. It's terrible. It's terrible.
8 8 8 18 bingo.
Anyway, so for the last part of the show, I did say I was gonna do this, and I know I didn't discuss it with y'all because I wanted it to be I didn't want it to be one of those things where it's like a canned response. So I want like genuine response with this from both of y'all. But I'm curious to know what games that are coming out or that you think are going to be announced at E3 are you most excited for?
Oh, oh, okay. I can do that. That's easy.
We'll start with Mingo first, and then we'll go to Snake.
Oh man. Uh, disclaimer: a lot of my stuff is Sony. I mean, some Xbox stuff in there, but
It's all right. It's all
um,
right. You like what you like, man.
um, I'm really, really excited about that God of War. They've said absolutely nothing about God of War. We've only, like, they've done a really good job of keeping it under wraps. I know they're doing, I know Sony Santa Monica is doing something. They've said nothing, though. We haven't seen a leak or anything. So it's like, what are they doing? I want to know what's going on. Um, I definitely think that they're going to actually have Spider-Man 2. This is my theory for Spider-Man 2. I think it's going to be co-op. I think it's going to be Miles Morales and Peter, and I think they're going to have like two different storylines, and that somehow interconnects. So you could play the game one time all the way through Miles Morales on one different side of the city. Then you could play the game again all the way around. I mean, I'm just speculating with Peter on a different side of the city fighting. They're all fighting different villains, not the same. And then when you play co-op, you can play on either side, helping the other person out, whatever. I don't know. That's what I think. I think it's gonna be something like that because it only makes sense to me to have a co-op and then have them to have different stories that kind of interchangeably happens. So Spider-Man is definitely. I think they're gonna show that. Going to third parties, I want to say, um, definitely want to say Suicide Squad because we only saw one little trailer for that, and these are the people who made the actual, what I'm saying, Arkham City, Arkham Knight, and they made just Arkham Asylum. So I want to see what Suicide Squad is gonna be like. Superman's the bad guy. I want to see what that's like. I want to see if they're gonna be doing anything better than what's the other game that's coming out? The other Batman game. I can't remember the name of. What is the other Batman game? Somebody help me out here. Uh,
Is you talking about the one where Batman is basically dead and they got
yeah. What's the name of that one?
crap, what is the name of that?
But anyway,
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've just went completely
yeah.
blank.
But yeah, I want to see if Suicide Squad's gonna do better than that. It, it might be bad. I don't know. But it might be Arkham Knights. I don't know. But I'm excited for that one as well. But more so the Suicide Squad. As far as open world or MMO, I'm not too sure because I'm not too sure what other MMO games are coming out other than what's already out. I don't think they've announced anything else so I'm not really sure. I'm actually I want to see a new IP for MMO, like something brand new no one's ever seen, something that maybe that's in the regular world, kind of like how we have a GTA or but maybe with spies or something like that. I don't know. I probably ain't getting that, but so there's that. So that's pretty much it. Anything else, I kind of just be kind of trying to name stuff that I think is going to show up. But those are the ones that I'm excited for. And single player guy, co-op guy. Don't mind that. So, uh, down for that. Oh, maybe a DC online, DC Universe Online reboot. Better graphics,
Hmm.
looking like GTA or something. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that. Whatever. Y'all want to do that? They're not gonna do it, but whatever. I'll take it. Whatever.
And see,
That's that's
that's
that's what I got.
interesting. You said that actually could be really awesome. DC Universe Online reboot, and of course I got kicked again. I'm gonna just hang back and let him do his thing. Um, that could be interesting. That definitely could, and I'm excited myself about God of War. That game is always really, really pretty to look at. It really is. And to be fair, like even though Sony's not going to participate in E3 again this year, they're going to show up at their own thing. I'm pretty sure they're going to do their own thing. And
Yeah.
all of those games that you named off, I'm sure they're probably going to be included in their solo thing that they're doing. And I'm sure they'll have some developers that'll show up to show off their games that they're putting on PlayStation. So either way, I like those picks. I think they're going to be good. Snake, is there anything in particular that you are waiting on or waiting to see that you think might show up at E3, or you just any games that you're anticipating and you're excited about?
Well, I was anticipating this one. Uh, E3 not so far, not yet. I mean, I know they were talking about GTA 6, but they haven't they haven't announced anything about that yet. So I don't even know if they're gonna bring that up at E3 this time. It would be a surprise if they did though. There I did hear about a new Dragon Ball game, so I don't know if they're gonna they're everybody's talking about the they might bring it, they might announce it, um, but there's still it's just still speculation right
Is it Come on Xenoverse 3?
now. Yeah, other than that, no.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I think I can kind of see what you're saying because everything's been kind of a lot of stuff's been hush hush, and you know we're coming out of the end of the whole everybody having to stay at home and developers trying to work from home. They're starting to get back into offense sort of. So I think as time goes on, the talk of these games will start to pick up more and more. I mean, I know IGN and all them, they've been keeping up with most everything they can, as far as games and exclusives and all that stuff. So um myself personally, there's been a few games that have been rumored that I'm curious about. Um and some that are obviously confirmed are going to be there. Um, Outside of the games that I play, like Rust or Dragon Ball, or if I'm playing a game with Tyler, I do have other games that I like. Forza being one of them. Forza Horizons is definitely going to have a big reveal. That game, not even because I
So
like cars.
pretty.
Don't get me wrong, I like cars. Yeah, I love cars, but that game, yes, what Mingo just said, that game is beautiful. Every time they put it out, visually stunning game. So anytime I know that they're going to release something at an E3 that has to do with Forza, I have to see it because it always amazes me how much detail they throw in that game, the realism of that game, the real physics when you're dealing with the cars. And supposedly, this Forza is instead of being, you know, set in what they thought was going to be Japan, it's all but confirmed now that it's actually going to be in Mexico. So
Ah.
yeah, so the story is going to take place in Mexico in this year's games. So we'll have to see about that. I think everybody's anticipating the re-reveal of Halo. I think everybody's anticipating that because there was a lot of flack from the first one, and we understood why because that game visually it should have been way better than what it was, and it wasn't. It was a little disappointing. So definitely excited for the re-reveal of that because I think it's going to be stunning. I think it's going to be well worth the wait. I can appreciate Microsoft for understanding or developers for understanding. Okay, people don't like this. Let's go back. Let's take the time. Yeah, it's going to push it back a year, but let's take the time, make this game right, so when it releases, they can enjoy the game. It's not, oh, another broken game. Shout out to Kaiser. It's a complete game. It's what the gamers want, and almost 100% sure it's going to release day and date on Game Pass. So I'll be able to download it from my normal stuff. So, and you know what? Jumping back to that, something that I'm sure they're going to elaborate on at E3, and I guess this falls into a category as a game too. Game Pass with the whole Play Anywhere thing, Game Pass is even more versatile because of that. And it makes a lot of these games more versatile because of that. Because now that all I got to do is take a controller with me and my iPad, I can literally remote play my Xbox, like the one that y'all see on my screen. I did not understand what it was until I actually tried it. It's not like a little rinky dink interface where, oh, you can play this game, kind of, sort of. It is literally the interface you see on my screen right now, in the little box on the bottom of your screen. You see me moving around. I literally see this interface when I'm away. If I'm on my iPad and I have my controller and I log into my Xbox remotely, I see all of my games and I see all of my stuff that like I have right here. And I turn on and it's the actual game. It's literally letting me play my game. So with all these new games that are coming out, and like especially to be shown at E3, the fact that I can take them anywhere with me, like, because my iPad shows really good quality pictures, and it's not like I'm getting a mobile version, like a cell phone version of these games that I play on my console. This is the console grade game, like a game that you would have bought like if you were sitting at the house, but I'm able to use my iPad as my screen instead of my big TV, and I'm way somewhere else, and all I gotta have is a controller. Like that's, bro. That right there. Anybody that plays games and plays games a lot, that by itself right there should have made you like, holy crap, yes, I need this in my life. Because once I realized I could do it, I was like, absolutely need this. I don't know why I didn't have this before. I was late to it. I was 100% late to it, and like when I saw it, I was like, God, why have I not been doing this? You take long trips. If you're riding in the passenger seat, I prop the iPad up, turn on the controller, log into my Xbox, and I'm playing the game. Like, and I can online play it if I want to play it because it's basically my console here. So, getting off my soapbox like that, I think with the games that are going to come out at E3, I think the ones that are going to be exclusive to Xbox or the ones that are going to be better on Xbox or whatnot, what have you, are going to benefit from the Game Pass and from the remote play because of the fact that they can take it basically anywhere they want to take it and play it. So, like I said, Forza and Halo, the two biggest things I'm excited for. Um, there's been rumors for a few other games that are supposed to come out, but nothing confirmed. Um, there's a what they call an over the top, is it RTS? Yeah, an over the top RTS game that they're going to show at E3. It's more geared towards the PC player, but they're supposed to be in the coming months after it releases. They're supposed to have a PC version that it releases, and all of that's going to be showed at E3. So the exclusive or the Xbox version of E3 as a whole, I think is going to be exciting, especially with all the things that they're innovating right now, things that they're doing. But I think the two heavy hitters are going to be it'll be Forza and Halo. Everything else will kind of they'll sprinkle it in. It'll be really good. But I think those two are my favorite, and I think those are going to be the heavy hitters. So, of course, with that, I'm going to begin to wrap up the show. I think that I hope that you guys got a good chance to look at Rust. Like I said, I liked it. I had to stop because it said it's in beta and it's doing some weird things for me. So I wasn't gonna get frustrated with it. But I do think it's gonna be a fun game. If you guys want to play it, you think it's awesome, you want to try it out, definitely do it. It's worth the purchase. Um, and make sure you guys also, since we're on Facebook and YouTube and we live and whatnot, if you are not already subscribed on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on your notifications, like, share, comment. Always comment. We love the comments. We love the conversation. Appreciate any and everybody that tuned in. We appreciate any and everybody that tuned in. It was a little bit late today. We had some technical difficulties, but we're getting there. We're getting there. This live thing, we've been doing it a little bit, but we're trying to make it a little better for you guys, give you some more entertainment. But Again, thanks you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time here on Facebook and YouTube for the Get Down. Make sure you stay nerdy, be safe, and check y'all.